Ladies and gentlemen, John Durham is going to get a conviction of Michael Sussman. That will almost certainly happen, or that will certainly happen, unless there's some kind of bizarre occurrence. He's going to get a second conviction. The first one was Kevin Kleinsmith, the bureau attorney that falsified information, deceived a FISA judge to prolong investigations into Trump campaign officials. This indictment is very easily, this conviction is an easy slam dunk conviction. You have Michael Sussman, who was paid by Clinton, who lied to James Baker, the top legal counsel at the Bureau, at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, lied saying that he was going to give information on Trump to get the government to investigate Trump, and he was going and giving this information on his own, on his own volition. He was not going on behalf of any client. That was a lie. That was a lie. He even texted James Baker, the top legal counsel, the man he met, the man he duped, apparently, stating, I'm not going on behalf of a client. I'm going simply because I have information that the U.S. government will need because possibly Trump was installed by another country and we need to investigate him. The Washington Post has an article today out. Well, it's kind of like a Rorschach test. Democrats see it as really nothing serious, and it's just about opposition research. And Republicans and conservatives see this as, a plot to take down Trump. Well, the reality is that it was a plot to take down Trump. Just because Republicans or conservatives or people, viewing this claim that Democrats were up to no good doesn't mean they weren't up to no good. And it doesn't mean that Trump isn't right. Okay? Christopher Hitchens stated there's nothing wrong with being partisan if you're right, if you're correct. What happened, however, in this trial, what's happening in this trial is the following. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below in the pinned comment. Ladies and gentlemen, I predicted the Bitcoin crash also. I don't want to sound like Al Gore. I started the internet and all this stuff, but I'm telling you, go and watch the playlist. On this channel, there's a playlist. I believe it's in the pinned comment as well. Go watch the playlist. And I have 34, 35 segments telling everyone from last October until today, we're going to have a stock market crash. Bitcoin's going to get to $10,000. I believe it's going to get to around $10,000 or below $10,000. And I have been saying this for a long time. Inflation through the roof. And that's why you watch this channel. Because I have a pretty good take on things. I offer a pretty good analysis and evaluation of current events, politics, and in terms of the economy, I stated we're heading into a catastrophe. Last year I said this. So I predicted the stock market crash we're seeing. And in terms of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I said it's going to tank and follow the market into oblivion. And I believe Bitcoin will get to $10,000 per coin. Or possibly below. So hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I have a very important segment on there today. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost at 200,000 subs on this channel. And ladies and gentlemen, Michael Sussman lied to James Baker. Very simple. He texted James Baker that he wasn't going on behalf of the Clinton campaign. He was going because he was a good citizen. Now, the interesting thing is that Sussman's defense team, and we'll see what the conviction, we'll see if he gets prison time or if he offers some kind of plea deal for future convictions and prosecutions of and indictments of government officials or other people like Len Simpson or Christopher Steele or Fusion GPS, or Tech Executive One or attorneys at that same law firm. What's taken place is the following. People who were at once working in conjunction with one another, people who had a symbiotic relationship with one another, are now turned against each other. James Baker and Michael Sussman probably had a very cordial relationship. Baker, the Comey's legal counsel at the FBI, probably just needed an excuse to investigate Donald Trump. He knew very well, so Sussman's team is right. Baker knew very well that he was working on behalf of Clinton. The law firm One, that he worked for is known as a Democratic Party law firm. The Sussman defense team says, well, Andrew McCabe and 327 emails from different bureau officials state that they knew Sussman was working with the Clinton campaign and a law firm that Democrats hire for everything as a conduit to when they purchase a Steele dossier to dupe the United States government. So everyone knew that Sussman was working for Clinton and the DNC. Everyone knew this. And Sussman's defense team is right. However, the government and the judge is always going to side with the government. And I was speaking to a very, very powerful Southern California attorney, and he was telling me the federal prosecutors don't indict anyone unless they have ironclad proof of a conviction. And so this very, very powerful attorney told me that, yeah, there's if they're indicting this man for a specific crime, no doubt they have a lot more information than just his text message. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, what's really interesting about this trial is that Sussman is throwing Andrew McCabe and all these other bureau officials and government officials under the bus. What he's saying is, well, they knew that Clinton was trying to set up Trump. What's the problem? And oh, by the way, Sussman working for Clinton wouldn't have convinced the Bureau of doing anything different. And it's like, well, of course they wouldn't even have, if they knew that this was opposition research, they wouldn't or shouldn't have engaged in an investigation or began an investigation. That has never happened before in American politics. And if it has, I don't know of a time that this has taken place, because the Washington Post article quotes a professor, I forgot which university, the professor saying, oh yeah, it's just about opposition research. No, it's not. When was the last time Republicans offered up opposition research to the Federal Bureau of Investigation to investigate a Democrat? It never happened and it never will, especially with this media in D.C. and the politics being influenced more by, or the political establishment being influenced more by Democrats than Trump Republicans at this point. But if the reverse were true, and Rudy Giuliani offered government agencies, intel agencies, information on mashed potato brains, our president or his son or his brother or anything, oh my God, you'd hear, oh my God, the government shouldn't be taking information from opposition research. I mean, it's just information meant to harm Trump's direct political rivals. That's all you hear. Trump is going after his political rivals. And that's exactly what Democrats were doing. So, of course, there was a wide-ranging plot. Sussman's defense is actually stating, yes, people knew. The entire Bureau, 320-plus emails, everyone knew that Fusion GPS or Tech Executive One or all the information they obtained through surveillance of Trump Tower, the executive office of the presidency while Trump was in the Oval Office, all of these things. Everyone knew it was Clinton and the Democratic Party. And by the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. We need that. I'm telling you. I want that, and I'm sincere about that. I know you think I'm nuts, but he's going to get the conviction because it's not relevant whether Andrew McCabe or other bureau officials knew. He also, not only James Baker, there's like 2 or 3 or 4 other bureau officials who will testify along with James Baker or will have a testimony that backs James Baker up. So, of course, Baker was in on it. Of course, the Bureau and Comey and Strzok and McCabe and Clapper and all of them and the Central Intelligence and all these, they were all in on setting up and framing Trump. This isn't rocket science. They needed a pretext. People like Sussman and Christopher Steele and Glenn Simpson gave them a pretext. This has never happened before in American history. Never. And if there was one time that it kind of did, it doesn't rival what took place with Trump. This has never happened before in the scope and how widespread this was with media and intel officials going after one candidate. And now, 18 U.S. Code 371 and other statutes pertaining to others conspiring against the government or against the American people are at play. This isn't rocket science. Everyone knows what's taking place. He'll get his second conviction. The trial starts next week. He'll get a second conviction in a couple of months. Who knows how long the trial is going to be? Can't be that long. And that's why he wants to get a very simple conviction. And from this trial, he'll have the basis, Durham, for future prosecutions of people like Christopher Steele and Glenn Simpson and other Bureau officials, potentially. Give me your thoughts below. Comey, eventually. Give me your, very likely. Or McCabe, before Comey. Comey has the goods on everybody, so they'll probably never, ever, ever convict him of anything. But, James Comey stated that he would testify against Andrew McCabe, the assistant director. So, I mean, these people are all turning on each other. There's no honor among thieves. There's no honor among thieves. If they did that to Trump, they'll do that to each other. So, it's like the Durham probe has a very simple task, easy task. The guy actually texted that he wasn't working on behalf of anyone else. And if the defense tries to say, oh, well, his lie wasn't relevant because other people knew that he was working on behalf of the Democratic Party, well, he contradicts that with his own writing, and there are other bureau officials and government officials who will back up Baker. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. This is really, really huge. Everyone's going to be watching this because it's going to be the foundation for future indictments. A lot more people are going to be indicted, ladies and gentlemen. And, whether or not mashed potato brains, our president, pardons people like Peter Strzok if they get indicted, that's possible. He could be pardoning Andrew McCabe or Peter Strzok or other government officials if they do get indicted by Durham. But I don't think, Sussman will get the pardon. Maybe, who knows? Not now. Not now. With everything going on with the economy. So it'll be interesting what kind of plea deal, because who knows? He'll get convicted, whether he gets prison time, I don't know. It's 5 years or so. So my God, this attorney is risking 5 years of his life? For what? They should offer a plea deal right now and just give Durham all the goods. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right this second. I'll probably have a live stream later tonight. Check the channel throughout the day. I'll let people know if indeed we have a live